Hey everybody, welcome back. So today we're going to be talking about my 5 worst purchases that I have made ever or lately. I've been thinking about this topic a lot because I've been really diving into my stuff lately and decluttering, getting rid of the things that I no longer use or just letting go of the clutter. So it really got me to thinking about how much I use some things and if I really got the use or the utility out of those pieces and things that I thought were going to solve my problem, bring me joy, or just make me this super fantasy cool girl that I always dreamt of being. I would really obsess over pieces and over things in the past. I used to just add to cart, wait for the thing to come, and then I would always end up being disappointed or never really end up using the thing that I thought I would. So today I wanted to go through the top 5 things that I consider to be a worst purchase. So let's get into it. And this is not to like on any brands. These are just things that didn't really end up working for me and money that I consider wasted or not spent wisely. Okay, do I save the worst for first or for last? I think I'm just gonna dive right into this. There's a lot of shoes and stuff in this for sure. The first worst purchase that I made was one of the very first luxury purchases that I ever made, and I remember feeling so excited and so sick at the same time when I made this purchase, and that is the Gucci slides. So these are the Gucci Princetown loafers. These are the hard leather loafer. These were huge, I'd say, in like 2016, 2017. Every single blogger had them. And at the time, I was just getting into fashion blogging and I was just obsessed with these. I felt like every outfit I put together at the time needed this shoe to complete it. And if I had any sort of dupe, it just didn't work. It wasn't right. That's how high the stakes felt for me about these shoes. So I think you'll find in this video a lot of the pieces that I consider to be a worst purchase really have a negative reason and motivation behind why I purchased them. It's not to say I don't think these shoes are beautiful. They're covered in mud right now. I need to clean these. It's just more behind the reason why I was so stuck on needing them. And the thing about these shoes is that they're not even that great. Like, they're beautiful, but they're not comfortable. I don't know if it's just my foot or whatever, but I have to wear band-aids every time I wear these shoes because this part on both sides starts to rub and give me blisters. I still wear them every now and then. Honestly, my true motivation for them was that I wasn't enough or I wasn't quite at the level that I wanted to be as a content creator without these shoes. Okay, I'm getting too hot. Who am I kidding here? It's summer. I have no AC. Okay, the second worst purchase is actually not a piece of clothing. The rest of everything in this video will be. It's actually a piece of technology, and that is the Apple AirPods Pro. I bought these about 1 or 2 months ago. It is definitely a quarantine purchase, and I got it engraved with the dog emoji because Chaika. I had been thinking about buying these for quite some time because I hate holding my phone up to my face. A lot of people will actually get acne on the sides of their face where they hold their phone or where they go like this with their cell phone. And I just don't love speakerphone in general either. And my earbuds always just get tangled so that I don't bother using them. So basically the bottom line here is that I am a texter. I don't talk on the phone, but they don't fit in my ears properly. Mostly when I'm talking or chewing, am I putting these in right? Like, I still don't really know. They fall out. And so I'll be like mid doing my workout or doing a side plank and they'll just fall out of my head because my ears are sweaty and they just don't create a good seal. Let me know if you guys know any hacks to get these to fit. The whole point of getting these is that they're wireless and that I don't need any extra pieces and things like that to keep them in. And a lot of people recommended to get those like little ear hoops for these. And I just feel like it's that much more work. So that's kind of a bummer that I bought this and now I need to get more stuff to make it work for me. Yeah, I wouldn't recommend the AirPods Pro. Maybe it's because I have a small head. I've been told I have a small head multiple times. So maybe it's just me. Let me know if they don't fit you. Let me know what hacks work for you. But I'm not willing to spend more money on more gadgets and more tech. So I'm trying to make these work for me right now, but it's a piss off. Okay, next worst purchase you've actually seen in my closet declutter, and I tried to sell it on Depop, but it all sort of fell through. And then I was feeling conflicted about this purchase, actually. Conflicted of whether or not I wanted to keep it, and conflicted as to whether or not it's just like a special piece that I hold on to and admire. And that is like an attitude that I'm still sort of grappling with, because if I'm just not using it, then why keep it? It's clutter. But every time I go to grab it, I still have some trouble letting go. Will I use it? What if I want to use it? What if something comes up? And it's just like, if you live by the what if, that's just too stressful, and it's just too easy to start accumulating things. So actually, as I sit here right now having this conversation with you guys and myself, I probably will just get rid of it. It is this awesome fringe leather jacket that I thrifted from a place called House of Vintage here in Toronto. At the time, I was passively looking for a fringe jacket. I absolutely love fringe. I think it's so cool. It's very Sons of Anarchy, and it actually fits me well. So I find secondhand moto jackets, especially, I have a smaller frame and smaller shoulders, so I find secondhand leather jackets tend to really look very oversized on me, almost to a point where it's comical, like it just doesn't really work. And this one really did work well for me. Here, I'll put it on. Like, it's cool. I bought it because also it really reminds me of my mom. My parents are kind of more, okay, my parents are bikers. Like, they ride moto jackets, motorcycles, fringe, all that kind of stuff is in my blood, I guess, a little bit. So this really reminded me of my mom. It felt nostalgic, it felt cool, but I just never really found any opportunity to wear it. I think I wore it out maybe once or twice. So I don't know, guys, what do you think? It is cool though, right? Okay, so my it's really hard to say. My fourth worst purchase is yet another shoe. You guessed it, it is my pair of Anine Bing Sad Girl patent leather cowboy boots. These boots are awesome. I adore the look of them. They are so edgy, so chic, so cool, and just so unique and nothing like anything I have in my closet. The reason I call these a worst purchase is because of the amount of use that I actually get out of them, and just the absolute feeling of crippling guilt that I felt and that I remember feeling when I bought these boots. So I have a video all about these pretty much. If you want to see some genuine sadness when it comes to self-sabotage and really feeling like you completely sabotaged your goals and what you set out to do, then that is the video to watch. I feel like I'm in a much different place now when it comes to feelings of guilt and getting overwhelmed by that. It really also just pushed me forward into my journey of self-compassion and self-love, and really just like making my low buy less about debt repayment and getting out of debt as fast as possible. I think that's still something that I'm trying to do, but now I'm doing that with a lot more balance and clarity than I feel like I was at the time when I bought these. To be honest, they're not really that comfortable. They're really cool, but the thing I find here is I feel like I have to always wear like a high sock with them, because this part rubs against my calves, and they are actually a little bit big on me, so I wish I did size down in them. These are kind of on my maybe in terms of getting rid of them or getting use out of them or not. It also goes to show just because it's beautiful doesn't mean it's always practical, and doesn't mean you're always going to use it as much as you think you will. But in the end, the action of buying them did teach me a lot. And the last worst purchase I made, I actually already decluttered. I got rid of it a little while ago, so I will just insert some photos here, but I think this to me is just the epitome of impulse buying and not putting in the work and the research before purchasing something. And that is this vintage oversized gigantic blazer from the Oversized store. This is an example of something that I literally bought on the toilet. At the time, I was really into oversized blazers. I was on the hunt for this neutral sort of brown tone color. I was thrifting for secondhand men's blazers all over and looking for the perfect oversized cool girl Instagram pulls off dad's blazer but somehow looks cool in it type of vibe. I had no idea about the measurements. I had no idea about the sizing. I just had no clue. And when it came, oh my gosh, it was so bad. Like the blazer itself was beautiful, structured really nicely, had a really nice lining and color, and everything about the actual style of the blazer was perfect, but it was so comically large on me. Like it would have been too big for my dad. It was just not good. And I spent quite a lot of money on that blazer. I had to pay duties, and it just illustrates how often I would actually do that. I would fixate on an item, come up with all these reasons why I needed it, give this item so much power over me where it would fulfill and solve all of these problems, and it would just be absolutely not what I was expecting. And why would it be? I didn't do any research on it. I spent less than 30 seconds thinking about making the purchase. Everything about this purchase was just not what I'm about anymore. So that's why it's a worst purchase. I ended up trying to sell it a few times on Instagram stories and on Depop, and it didn't really sell. Again, it's a beautiful blazer, but I ended up just dropping it off at Goodwill. And I just wasn't willing to invest that much more money into it at the tailor. For me, it was totally a waste of money. I'm glad I supported someone I admire's business, but it just didn't pan out for me. So that's it for my 5 worst purchases that I can think of in recent memory. And I just want to make sure that you guys know that this is not to sort of badmouth any one person or company. These are just things that either didn't work out for me or just have some bad memories that I really want to learn from and step away from and grow from as I move forward. Leave this video a thumbs up if you guys liked it, and let me know down below in the comments what your worst purchase is. I'm really curious to find out. I feel like that's something that's really different for everybody. Don't forget to hit subscribe. I'd love to see you back, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.